Tonight, we have representatives from Wayne Metro, Cecilia Olivier. We have Kwesi Betsarai, that's with the Wayne County Veterans Affairs Office. We have Willie Dunwell, that's with the Board of Review. We have Alvin Horn, that's with the Assessor's Office. And we have Dolores Cortez, that's with the Hands Group. And if any other resources or agencies join, I will let you know. But what I'd like to do at this time again is thank you for joining us. Get your pen, paper ready, share, let your family and friends know that we are on the call tonight, Ask the Treasurer, October Ask the Treasurer. And right now I want to introduce to you our Wayne County Treasurer, Eric Sabree. And one of the greatest things about working in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and working with Mr. Sabree is that he has a passion for our residents and taxpayers of Wayne County. And what is so dear to his heart and important is that no one loses their property. We have resources available and we want you to take advantage of them. And Mr. Sabree is going to share with you the many resources that we have available so that none of our taxpayers have to lose their property. So thank you so much, Mr. Sabree. Let's welcome Mr. Sabree. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Beverly. I wanted to welcome everyone this evening. We have a great staff in the Treasurer's Office. Beverly Hilton is our outreach director. We have several members of our staff on the call today, this evening, and they'll be able to help answer questions that you have. I want to spend just a few minutes giving you an overview of what we have to offer in the Treasurer's Office, and then we want to hear from you, the taxpayers, some of your concerns. Hope everyone is healthy and safe. And also I wanted to mention that this is a breast cancer awareness month. Early detection is the key. I lost my mother and my sister to breast cancer, so I'm very aware of it. And I just urge all of you who either women or you know a woman that you love, make sure that they get tested and be aware that breast cancer is very serious. We have some of our partners with us this evening, as Beverly mentioned. Last year and this year, 2020 and 2021, we didn't have any foreclosures of occupied properties in Wayne County. There are payment plans available right now. Those of you who have 2019 taxes and prior taxes that haven't been paid, you can enter into a payment agreement now. You can go online and do it, or you can make an appointment and come into the office. If you're a veteran, a healthcare worker, or first responder, then you do not have to put down payment down to enter into a payment agreement. All you have to do is come in, enter the agreement, and in 30 days you can start paying. Also, the state of Michigan is administering a program called MyHalf, Michigan Housing Assistance Fund. This program is going to be launched probably within the next 30 days. There's grant money available for individuals who are under 150% of the area median income and who have demonstrated that they have had a COVID loss of income or because COVID-related increase in expenses. So this program will allow people to get up to $25,000 in grants. And this program, as I said, will be launched in the next 30 days. Our vendors are out putting notices out to taxpayers who are in danger of foreclosure. If you receive a notice, no need to panic, but you have to pay attention because that notice is letting you know that if you don't do anything, you don't get into a payment agreement or pay the 2019 or prior taxes, that your property could be foreclosed. So we just started doing that today. It's one of the requirements of the state law that we do a personal visit to every property that's in danger of foreclosure. So if you get a notice from us and you're not in danger of foreclosure and we make a mistake, then please call us. I apologize in advance if you get a notice that you shouldn't have received. And if you do, if we confirm that you got a notice that you shouldn't have gotten, that your taxes are paid and we made a mistake, then we're going to send you a gift card, a Starbucks gift card, so you can go out and get a cup of coffee or a latte on us. That's our vendor is going to pay for it because they're responsible for making sure that we get to the right properties. So I wanted to just close out with that and open up for some questions before we go to our partners who have some very good information to share with us. We'll answer questions throughout. I'll answer some questions, then we'll go to our partners, and then we'll go back and answer some more questions. We want to hear from you. So let's go ahead. Liz, if you see someone that has a hand up in the chat, you can recognize them. Or if someone wants to ask a question, we want to hear from you.
I see a hand for Teresa Reed.
I wanted to ask a question because I stay in River Ridge, Michigan, and it's been so hard for me to get help with my property taxes. So any of the programs, do they have anything to do with River Ridge or no?
Yes, we do have, our programs are available to anyone in Wayne County. Payment agreements are available. The city of River Rouge opted out of the pay-as-you-stay program, but we talked about the exemptions. If you get exempt because of low income and you also have back taxes, the city of River Rouge is not a participant in that program, but we still have payment agreements available. And the program that Mishta is about to launch, that program also will be available to the residents of River Rouge. So you can contact our office. The numbers are in the chat. River Rouge is part of Wayne County, and we want to help you too.
We can do Mark Anthony.
Yep.
I'm here.
Thank you, Mark.
How y'all doing? So my question to you guys is due to COVID, I have 50 residential properties, but I have not been doing so well for the last 2 years because due to COVID, I've seen, money passed out from PPP to unemployment to stimulus. I've never once heard them say, hey, get a landlord, 5,000, 10,000, and here it is. I'm still in court with a few cases. That's neither here nor there, but still haven't been paid for the homes. And here it is, the taxes are coming. And, like I said, for the last 2 years, definitely a year and a half, I have seen nowhere close to, my regular income. What do you, my question is to Eric Sabree, what do you have for us, coming up with taxes, facing foreclosure? Because some of them are on payment plans, but due to, tenants not being able to pay or not paying, I haven't been able to pay. The little money that I have collected, I have to sustain my own livelihood, kids,
Well, what we did with the landlords this 2021 was to we extended to any occupied properties. We also included in our hardship policy, giving an extension to those who were behind and could demonstrate that they had been affected by COVID by not receiving rent payments. We gave until 2023 for people to pay the taxes. In other words, we extended it more than a year. So we're going to continue to do that. We also know that the state has money for a landlord's rental assistance. It's not under our jurisdiction. We don't have that money ourselves to give out, but we know that we're trying to help until the landlords can get hold of some of that money. I don't know if you've been involved in that process or not, but maybe you can tell us about that. What's going on with that? Because we hear that the tenants have to participate with the landlords in order to get the money. I'm not sure who gets the money, whether it's the landlord or the tenant, but I'd like to hear from you about that actually.
As far as my situations, the longest person I've had is 17 months. I offered to take the SARA program, and I've still yet to be paid. I call down there, I get no answer. They contact me, get all the paperwork they need. They say it's been turned over to this person. I still got no answer. I'm still waiting. I just went to court 2 days ago. They said it's progressing, but I've heard nothing. The judge has heard nothing. The only one that has heard anything is the tenant, but I even asked the judge, how does that go? What's the follow-up? Like, I'm not saying that the tenant is not credible, but at the end of the day, I mean, in the eyes of the court of the law, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Well, one of the things we can do for you and other landlords who might be on this call listening is that you should contact us and let us know what's going on, just like you're doing this evening, just so that we can keep a track of those landlords that are having this similar problem as yours. And we're going to work with you so you don't lose your property because of this situation. I'm aware of what's going on. I know some people are not paying. I know that it's difficult getting the money from the state. So that's why we're going to work with you, make sure that you don't lose your property just because of the situation that you find yourself in right now. The only thing I cannot do, because it's a state law, I can't take the interest off. I can't suspend the interest payments. That's something that the legislature would have to change. They would have to change the law for me to do that. But I can prevent the property from being foreclosed and give you time to pay. That's what I can do. So.
Last question is, how do I go about, gaining those assistance as to getting it extended to 2023 or?
You got to contact us, contact our office. We have, if you want to send your personal mail information on the chat to Ms. Hilton, or just contact our office and say that you want to speak to Ms. Jackson or Ms. Holly. Those two people that we usually refer taxpayers to assist them with the payment agreements or this type of issue, Ms. Jackson or Ms. Holly. And our numbers are in the chat. Our email is in the chat, and you know how to reach me, actually. You have my number.
So the next person, is that Quadowa?
Yes.
Great, very good. Your question, please.
So we are a church, and I have a question for you. Do we have any programs out there to stop the bleeding on interest payments if you have a payment plan in place?
There's nothing I can do about the interest payments if you're not an owner-occupied residential property owner. The state law allowed us to reduce the interest rate from 18% a year to 6% for residential property owners. There's a bill right now that's being considered in the House of Representatives that will allow commercial properties. I don't know if a church is considered commercial property, but whatever commercial property definition is, it will allow commercial property owners to have the same benefit as a 6% interest as the residential property owners. So that's something it hasn't even got out of the committee in the House of Representatives yet, but we can't reduce interest and without this change in the law. If you're a church, and I just want to ask you this, have you gone to seek tax exempt status for the church?
Yes, we do have that in place right now. Our situation is very crazy. We cannot discuss that over here, so maybe I can do that later after this call. We have the tax exempt in place right now, so we don't have to worry about it going forward as of last year, but we got some previous taxes that we were not supposed to even be there, and we are here now.
I have the city assessor is in the city of Detroit.
No, this is the city of Westland.
Oh, Westland. Okay.
We have been working with the mayor, and the mayor has been working with your office to see what you guys can help us. But the help that we need, I don't think we have gotten it yet.
Okay. If you want to put your information in the chat directly to either Mr. Berry, James Berry, or
James Berry.
Mr. Horn is on the call also, Mr. Sabree.
But he's in Westland.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Horn is in Detroit. Detroit assessors. Yeah. So Mr. Berry, if you put it into Mr. Berry, then he can receive it, and he's our deputy for forfeiture and foreclosure, and then he can have someone investigate and find out how we can help you.
Mr. Sabree, thank you. You guys are great. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, who's next? Who's next up?
I had got my house on land contract for $40,000, and they told me my money. I had money in escrow to pay the back taxes, but I'm still on taxes, and plus only had the house for 2 years, and I got a $4,000 water bill that I'm stuck with. So I'm trying to figure out what I have to do. Once this COVID, the only reason my water is on because of the COVID, but I'm trying to get all this caught up before everything gets go back to normal.
Have you talked with the water department, Mr. May?
Yes, I did, and they said they couldn't do anything. They said I'm stuck with it. They just basically said I got to pay it. I tried to get on the payment plan. I even took them $1,500 years ago, and they still want to put me on a payment plan.
Well, one of the things about property that I know is that when you buy property, that the water bills and the taxes go with the property, and that if someone sold you property and you didn't know that, then you are stuck with it. The question is, are they going to give you time to pay it? You know, that's the problem. You know, you might have a suit against the person who sold it to you if they said that the water bill was paid. If they didn't tell you anything, you just didn't know, then you're just stuck with the water bill and tax. It happens more than once. I mean, it happens a lot. But anyway, go ahead.
They told me the water bill was paid down to zero, which is not true. I kept telling them and I kept showing them that it's not paid down to zero.
Well, then you probably have some legal action that you probably need to discuss with your attorney. That's my advice, because
Okay.
you know, and legally though, when it comes to the water department and you're stuck with the water bill as far as they're concerned, and they are within their legal right to tell you that. The same thing happens with the taxes. We have people who go out and buy property from someone on a quick claim deed, and they get the property, find out later they owe $7,000 or $8,000 in back taxes, and you know, this happens like the year that it's about to get foreclosed. So we know this, and we work with people like that who just don't know any different, and try to keep them in the property. We don't want them to lose their property. They just, you know, bought it, put a new roof on it, like you just described, fixed it up, then find out later that they're about to lose it to foreclosure. So it just shows that we have to be more diligent and not as trusting sometimes when we're buying property, because people will tell us things that are not true.
Mr. Sean,
Yes, I'm here.
you may ask your question, please.
I bought a house in February of 20, and I've been trying to make a payment arrangement for over a year and a half now. And basically they're telling me I can't make the payment arrangement because the house is still not in my name yet.
Did you have a deed recorded in your name?
I live in Texas, but I had my realtor make sure that everything was transferred over, and it's still not having me listed as the registered owner.
All right. Well, you know what? We need to get somebody in the office to talk to you. Mr. Cavelli, can you get his information and find out how we can help him get a payment plan?
Yeah, sure. As far as a regular payment plan, you don't need to have a deed to the property to get into the plan. And the issue with not having the property changed over could be the person who may have just filed the deed and not the property transfer affidavit. So the city doesn't know that there's a new owner. But I'll get his information and we'll see what we can do to get it straightened out.
Next, we have Sandra Walker. Can you unmute yourself, please? Thank you.
Yes, my question is, I got divorced and I got a quitclaim deed from the divorce, but my tax bill still comes in both people's name, and I want to get the other name off of my whatever that record is that's printing out the tax bill, and it has an O in my name instead of an A.
Okay, that would be if Mr. Horn is on the call from the city of Detroit, the assessor's office.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Horn, would you like to address that one for me? Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna put my email address in the chat. If you send me your contact information, I will give you a call tomorrow morning and we'll get everything straight for you.
Is this you? Alvin Horn, Horhn?
That's me.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you, Alan. Appreciate it.
No problem, sir.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Mr. Horn. Is this Laverne Jean?
I lost my home to foreclosure, and someone it went to auction, and I was trying to, and I'm a healthcare worker, so I heard from this call that people who are healthcare workers, they have a special program. If it's already gone to auction and someone has bid on it, what can I do at this point?
So when did this happen?
It happened in September
of this year?
of this year. Yes.
So is this this is not the home that you're living in, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, it was a vacant property?
It was a vacant property.
Okay. Well, if the vacant properties got foreclosed, some vacant properties got foreclosed this year. And did someone buy the property yet? Do you know?
Is there a list?
Yeah, you can find out. Yeah, Mr. Cavelli could tell you. You can just put your information in the chat to him, to Anthony Cavelli, Tony Cavelli, who's on the call. He can find out what happened to that property. And
Sir, I already sent her my email
Okay.
address for her to email me tomorrow.
That's great.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
I have a question in regards to a house that is next door to me. The house is full of feces. In the basement is 6 foot full of 6 inches of feces, and there's mold from from the floor to the ceiling. And I do believe there's asbestos out there. And this house is on the Wayne County auction as of for tomorrow. I have written Mr. Sabree, emailed him as of October the 7th, and I've been trying to email as well under the auction, but it's been unsuccessful because I haven't heard anything back. My question at this point, being that it's a late stage, this house has had this sewage issue, and the inspector came out, but he's only, because the potential buyers are coming, they pulled the boards off of the door, they've been inside, everything. It's like a circus over here, and it's a safety hazard. My question is, how could this house be on be on your auction? It has, the inspector did state that there were building safety infractions or violations with this house.
Treasurer, if I may, this is Jim Barry.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this sounds familiar, and it's quite possible that we removed this property from the auction just this past week and put it in the blight bundle.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's the parcel where we got the email on that was removed from the auction and put in the blight bundle, so the city will get the deed to it.
Right.
Okay.
So can you tell me the street to verify that this is true versus me just having conversations?
Well, if you want to send us the street address, I don't have it in front of me right now, and we will respond in kind with the confirmation.
Okay, because someone was just out here while I was waiting the meeting, looking at this house.
Well, I don't know what to tell you about
Is
that.
it a parcel on Trinity?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one.
Okay, great.
We'll now go to Shawnee. Shawnee, will you please unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much.
I am in one of the programs for my home, and I literally just got laid off from one of my jobs. The other job I'm down to 1 day on, and I know when I agreed to the program, I was actually, making enough money where I knew I could pay this. Now that I can't do this, what can I do to actually get that payment so I don't mess up with you guys, and I don't want my house taken? Me and my family, this is where we live. This was a house that was given to me through my grandfather, so I'm trying my best to hang on to it, but I cannot afford the $1,800 anymore payment plan that I originally started with. What can I do, or where do I go to try and get this cut back somewhere where I can afford to still try and pay without losing my house?
Okay, there's a couple of things we can do. One is the pay as you stay program would be, if your income is now low, very low, then you should apply to the city for an exemption. That's number one.
Okay.
And also the program that MISTA has, they're going to have grants available for taxpayers who are facing mortgage foreclosure, tax foreclosure. That's going to be launched in about 30 days. That program will address, right now they're talking about 2019 and going forward taxes. I'm not sure about years before that yet, that hasn't been decided.
Okay.
But I think that's another program. But the main thing is letting us know, contacting our office and letting us know what you just said, saying
Okay.
that I'm having problems, so we can flag your property and try to help you. So the main thing is that we know what's going on.
Okay, so I can just call the office and let you guys know. I don't want to mess up, because I did agree to make the payment, so I don't want to get behind, and I got a payment coming up soon and I'm not working, so.
You're doing the right thing, letting us know. You can send us contact information. Any other staff person, Mr. Barry is in the chat. Mr. Cavelli and Mr. Cavelli's on. So either one of them, you can put your information in and they'll contact you, have someone from our office contact you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So thank you so much for your question. Thank you, Mr. Sabree. We also, for our resources that are available tonight, if a question comes up that's under your jurisdiction or in your area, your work area, please respond.
Yes.
So that we can get them the full answer that they need. Thank you very much.
If I can, hi, my name is Cecilia. I'm from Wayne Metro Community Action Agency. I'm going to put a bunch of information in the chat, but first I just want to go through a couple things. I'm going to put my agency phone number, a couple emails. For those who have pay as you stay, the first step, and I'm sure we have someone from the Board of Review who can speak to this, is to apply for the HOPE application, formerly the HP cap. This is for the city of Detroit, but all cities in Wayne County and through the state of Michigan have their own property tax exemption program. For those who are in the city of Detroit, once they are PAYS eligible, so you've been approved for the HOPE application, now you have pay as you stay. We have the Detroit Property Tax Relief Fund, so that reduced amount of your delinquent property taxes. I'm also going to put some information for the Financial Empowerment Center in the chat as well. So here at the FEC, I'm a Financial Empowerment Center coach. We are trained to do some property tax assessment. So for those, there's a gentleman who possibly didn't have his PTA, property transfer affidavit. We can help kind of assess those kinds of things and help you navigate to make sure all your documents and everything are in order, as well as help with budgeting, saving, credit building. To the gentleman who had the properties and was, in need of Sarah, Wayne Metro also has that program. You can reach out to our call center if you have any questions about the status of your application, if you and your tenant are working with us, because there are other agencies that are administering Sarah. Lastly, I saw some questions about home repair. The city of Detroit has announced Renew Detroit. I'll put that information in. It's going to be a very small program. There is a scoring system, but for those who are property tax exempt or who are filing as of now to become property tax exempt, there's a scoring model where 1,000 roofs will be chosen to be repaired. Yeah, that's everything. Let me get all this information flowing in the chat here.
Okay, we'll move to the next person. Dimitri's iPhone, please. Can you unmute yourself, Dimitri? Demetria, please.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, my question is that I defaulted on the URSPA plan, I believe it is. And I guess the last time I spoke with someone, they said that there was no way to get back on it. I am currently out of the home, but I would like to, and I only owe on my delinquent 2016 taxes. Everything else is paid up. Is there any option for me after that?
Yes, there is. Jim, do you want to go into that? What person needs to do to get back in the payment agreement?
Yeah, let me, I'm sorry, could they repeat one more time their question?
Okay, yes. So I was in the the URSPA plan, I believe it's called, maybe a year back, and I defaulted on it. It might have been, a year back, but everything is paid up. I only owe my 2016 taxes. So of course, once I defaulted on the plan, now the taxes are almost at like $3,000. And so they were telling me that there was no way to get back on the plan and I just had to pay that. I only owe 2016. I don't owe any other taxes, but I am now not in the home. So I don't, I still own the home, but I'm not living there. So is there any way to get back on a plan or just reduce that payment so I can, make the payment?
Okay, so you don't live in the home, but
No.
all the taxes are paid up except for the year 2016?
Yes,
So
yes.
you paid 17, 18, 19, 20, all
Yeah,
of them? Okay. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
going to give you, my information is in the chat room,
Okay.
Demetria.
Yes.
Please email me tomorrow and I will get back with you and we should be able to help you out with that. No problem. With the
Okay,
2000
great.
system, okay?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Berry. Brittany, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess my question is kind of simple because I'm getting mixed messages. So in March, the houses that are getting foreclosed is, okay, let me read. So we have to pay all of our back taxes by of March, or everybody's house is going to foreclosure, or is it still, if you're not in a payment arrangement, then your house is getting foreclosed in March? How is this all working with COVID?
Well, you have to get into a payment agreement, or
I am.
or you would have to be able to pay your taxes at in full, or at certain payment agreements, depending on what payment agreement you're in. If you're a residential homeowner, you live in the home, it's the house you live in, then you have different payment agreement. You can stretch it out to over a 5-year period, and your payment is much less than it would be if you were a landlord or a business owner, for instance. So depending on the payment agreement you're in, as long as you're in an agreement, and like I said, there's a lot of funding available. It's coming from the state. So we're going to look at all of that and try to make sure that people are taking advantage of the funding that's available. This is federal money that's here for this purpose. And
For that My Half program, it's also going to include help with other housing expenses like back utilities too.
yes, it will.
And I
Yes.
put that information in the chat earlier.
Thank you, Cecilia. Also, in internet and the broadband services too. If you need internet in the house, the program will also pay for that.
Okay, thank you. And besides it's a rap program, what other programs are, I only see like one in the chat, so I was trying to get all of them.
Yes, apart from the RAP program, that My Half program will also help towards water. And Wayne Metro, we won't be administering those dollars, but we'll be helping folks apply for them eventually once it launches.
Okay, and what's the turnaround from somebody getting in contact with me?
Well, right now we haven't started because the program hasn't started yet, but I'll put all our contact information in the chat, so you can, get in touch with us or look at our website and see if anything changes.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, if you could just reach out to me, send me your email or phone number, and I'll reach out to you first thing in the morning. Let's see if we can get you through the whole process. And that will not only help you with the current year taxes, it'll make some adjustments to the prior year taxes. At the same time, make you eligible to get assistance for the Detroit Tax Relief Fund.
Oh, great. Thank you.
That was Mr. Willie Donwell, who is the chair of the Board of Review in the city of Detroit. So that was Mr. Donwell just speaking. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Sabree. And for all of our other resource agencies or community partners, when you give some information and that you're going to be putting in the chat, can you also say it out loud as well and introduce yourselves so just people will know? We have people getting on and off the call all the time. So when you start speaking, just say your name and the organization and whatever the resource is. Thank you so much. Next we have
Lord, can anyone hear me? I was passed by.
Is it no? Is this Aretha? We did call you.
Yeah, and when I muted, you went past me. You said
okay. Well, we're sorry, and we are happy for you to take your to have your question right now, please.
Thank you. I have two questions. I was given a house from my parents. My dad was a veteran. I wanted to know, how do I go about putting the house in my name, because I've been paying the taxes on it since 2012.
Okay. Mr. Barry, would you be able to address that one?
Sure. Okay, so is your father still alive?
No, he passed in 2016.
Okay, so what you're going to need to do is go to probate court, and the property is going to have to go through probate in order to get it into your name. Do you have other siblings?
I have two other siblings, but they don't want the house. My dad and my mom left it to me.
Okay. There is an agency, the United Community Housing Coalition. I don't know if they're on the Zoom call today, but they do help folks like yourself who need some help with filing a probate petition. So we will get that information to you, and you can contact them, and they will be able to help you out with getting that property into your name.
Okay, and my other question is,
One other thing, let me interrupt real quick. I want to add something to Mr. Barry's comment, that if you're in probate and your case is in probate, that automatically removes you from the foreclosure petition. So it's very important, if you can get it in probate, that gives you time to get all the things sorted out, even paying the back taxes and so forth. I just wanted to add that part.
Beverlyn, could you put United Community Housing Coalition's contact information in the chat room? If you have that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess I need to put my glasses on. Is that
Beverly, I took care of putting that in the chat.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Lazaro, would you like to unmute yourself, please? You've been waiting a while. Thank you for.
Yes, so I have a question. My property went to foreclosure and I went to get on a payment arrangement plan. And when I bought the property, it's 4 lots. The house and it's 1 lot on the left and 2 lots on the right. When I went to get a payment arrangement, they only let me set up a payment arrangement for the house and 1 lot. And they said that the other 2 lots had already went to foreclosure. And I don't see how that was possible, how it was possible when I made the payment arrangement for the other 2 lots right next to each other.
Tony?
Yeah, I'm going to put my contact information in the chat directly to him and have him email me the information tomorrow, and I'll look into it.
When did that happen, sir? When did that happen?
It happened, well, I found out on the September, right before September auction started, and I have the paperwork here where they,
that was in 2021. That's what I'm trying to get the year.
Yes, this year.
Okay, this year. All right.
So I own the property is 4 lots, and they only made let me set up a payment arrangement for the house and 1 lot. But I own the other 2 lots, and I don't see why I wasn't allowed to make a payment arrangement for the other 2 lots right next to my house.
Well, we'll find out what happened.
Yeah, I put my contact information out there for you, Mr. Lazaro. If you could just email me, I'll look into it first thing tomorrow morning.
Okay, and my second question is, I had another property on River Rouge, which I had sold, and then I'm not sure what happened to the people. I sold it on a land contract, and they didn't pay the back taxes. And when I found out they left the property, I got the property back, and I was making payments on the house because they didn't pay the taxes. Is there anything else I can do on that, or just continue to make the payments?
Yeah, include that information in the email to me. I'll look at.
Hello?
Yeah, include that in your email to me also, and I'll look into that also. It sounds to me like it may be something to where you might need to get an attorney to get the property reverted back to you. But in the meantime, you should continue to pay the taxes so you don't lose it.
Well, I already have possession of the house. I have a family member who lives there. So I'm paying the taxes slowly, but the thing is, I wasn't aware that they didn't pay the taxes until I receive a foreclosure, the yellow sticker on the house.
Yeah, include that address along with the address of the two lots, and I'll look into both of them tomorrow morning for you.
How is everyone doing? I know it's a long evening. I've been here for a minute, but I'm getting good information. So I hope everyone is doing well.
All right. Thanks for your patience. Yeah.
No problem. Now I have the SHPTAP application. I need assistance completing that documentation. So mind you, I worked remotely and I worked during the day. So I've received a couple of calls. However, I haven't been able to connect with the person in effort to obtain the assistance that I need in effort to complete the application. Any suggestions on how I can move forward?
Misty, I believe, and this is Cecilia from Wayne Metro, I believe in the application, it's got some of the community partners who are helping with that application, but you can also contact my agency and we have designated staff who can help you as well. So I'll re-put that number in the chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Miss D. Clark,
You're welcome.
Clark? Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes. So I do have a few questions because I have some people who don't have access to this. So just bear with me here for a second, okay?
Okay.
So the first question would be the community partner. So I guess we got in a little bit late, so we didn't get all the community partners' information. So I wanted to kind of get that that information back on, if you don't mind. And so there's a few questions. So the other question was, when is the deadline to make the payments before it actually fully goes into foreclosure? So should I let these questions be answered first before I go on with the other ones? Because there's a couple.
We can talk about the community partners. Beverly, you're going to put that in the chat if you haven't already done so, right?
Each community partner has put their information in the chat. So
Okay.
You'll just need to scroll through the chat and then you will see each of their information. And some have put it in more than once.
Okay, so I think what's happening is, depending on when you come on, you don't have access to that information if you come on after it's been posted.
Okay, that's a great point. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and so the other question is, I know that there has been a few payments been made. So I guess they were in a program before where the program would help them out because they were on Social Security or whatever. And so the payments were coming out on a regular basis, well, actually automatic withdrawal, but still getting information saying that the property was in jeopardy of foreclosure. So she was saying that there was probably about 2 or 3 times in which the payments were made monthly, which these payments weren't set in stone. It was just something that she figured she would keep up with in order to keep up with the taxes on a monthly basis. You know what I mean?
As far as the notices, people that are in payment plans still do get the notices. The state statute says that there are certain times of the year we have to send a notice. And if the property is even in a payment plan, there's still the opportunity for foreclosure if the person drops off the plan. So the notices still have to say that too. But if they're in a payment plan and making their payments on time, just understand that this is something that we statutorily have to send out to everybody.
Right. That's a great point, Tony. And the other thing is that even if you have a small balance, some people are going to get notices from us, these yellow bags. If you owe $700-800, And people say, well, why are you harassing me for this $800? Well, because we have to by law, we have to notify you. So just know that all you have to do is just pay it, get into a payment plan. Then the other question that was asked is about the deadline. It's March 31st of 2022. That's the statutory deadline that you have to be in an agreement and compliant with the agreement or have paid the 19 and prior taxes in full. That's March 31st,
Okay.
2022.
Okay, so March 31st, I have that, but I think that I'm sure that question, that answer will probably help someone, but it wasn't the question that I asked. So that she was not on a payment plan, what she was in one of the programs where they paid her property, her prior property taxes, right? And so she was trying to be proactive by having it come out automatically monthly on her own. Not that it was set in stone or anything. She was just, because of her income, she was just having it taken out monthly.
One of the things we can it's easy to find the balance by just going to the website, our website. We have
the parcel number, maybe.
We have a tab where you can look up your property. And
Okay.
if you need help, you can put your information in the chat to Mr. Cavalli, Mr. Berry, and they can have someone contact you with that information. But it's right on the website. If you go to our homepage, treasurer.waynecounty.com, it's on the homepage, and you scroll down, it says, look up my tax bill. You can just put your address in and look it up.
Perfect.
Even on your phone, yeah.
Okay, and how do you get the property tax exempt form? How and who qualifies for that?
Mr. Donwell, can you help us out with that one?
Absolutely. So the application and information is available on the City of Detroit website. It's at detroitmi.gov/hope. detroitmi.gov/hope. It has all the information, the requirements that need to go along with the application. It also has the application itself. You can print the application out, or you can actually file online. Just remember that if you file online, to provide all supporting documentation, otherwise the application will not be accepted. It also has the list of community partners that can help you with completing the application. And also on the website, we are currently doing a series of drive-up events through the end of this month, where you can actually come up. You don't even have to get out of your car. You can actually just pull up and you get assistance with completing the application. We'll copy the supporting documentation and take the application right there. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for homeowners to submit their applications. Please remember that the deadline for 2021 is December the 13th. And you want to submit your application as early as possible, because if additional information is needed, we need to have it prior to that December 13th date. You do not want to wait to the last minute to file. The great part about getting exempt of the property on your property taxes is it will not only help you with the county treasurer. The City of Detroit has opted in for the pay-as-you-stay program. And here's what it means in a nutshell. If you are approved for an exemption at any level, it doesn't have to be only 100%. If you get 100%, 25%, 50% exemption, it will make you eligible for the pay-as-you-stay program that's administered by the Wayne County Treasurer. What it does is it reduces the amount of back taxes owing to no more than 10% of the taxable value of your property. And here's what that means in real numbers. Let's say you owe $12,000 in back taxes and the taxable value of your home is $11,000. It will reduce the amount of back taxes that you have to approximately $1,100. And the even better part about all of this is that $1,100 can be paid off on your behalf through the Detroit Tax Relief Fund. That's what Cecilia was talking about earlier. So it is a great pathway to not only get your property taxes reduced, to actually get them eliminated, and you can actually start from zero.
Ms. Malone, thank you. Your question?
I have two questions. Necessarily, I went to the Wayne County Treasurer's office and got on a payment plan. for my taxes. However, they told me that I need to do a principal resident exemption form.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same as at the HPT tap, but I was looking, I got a paper in the mail the other day. So I was trying to figure out, are those the same thing or am I on the right track with my payment plan? So the paper that I received the other day was the young lady was talking about earlier for Hope. So
Yes.
I don't know if I want to know if they were giving me the information to go along with my payment plan.
Ms. Malone, so the principal residence exemption, it is a different exemption that all homeowners qualify for just their primary residence. The good thing about the HOPE application is that document is in that packet. But you can also get that document from the city assessor as well, or you can find it online. Like if you Google primary residence exemption Michigan, you'll find like a fillable PDF form that you can send in with the you show your ID to the city assessor and they'll record that for you. As far as being on track with your payment plan, I'll let someone from the treasurers answer that.
Before you do, ma'am, this is Alvin Horn from the city of Detroit. I'm gonna put my email address in this chat. If you email me, I'll send you the PRE form.
I have it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
They gave it to me and told me to take it home and find all my information from the years that is stated on the paper. So necessarily, I guess I've had it since 2018.
Okay.
And I got it through the Housing Coalition. However, in the past years, I've been seemingly paying the amounts I should pay. I guess I'm not paying them on time. So it causes it to whatever I may pay. So if I pay the $517, if I didn't pay it on time, it makes it $237 because of the interest. So necessarily, I'm still never getting ahead when I think that I am. So the fact that I have delinquent amounts, I'm just a little.
Okay. Ma'am, we can retroactively apply to PRE. So if you moved into the house in 2018, we can apply it for 2019. And we'll be happy to do that. We'll notify the county treasurer that we've made an adjustment to the 2019 and 2020 tax years. And they'll adjust any delinquent taxes you have at the county. In addition, once you fill out that HOPE application, the city will send your information to the county to get into the PAYS program. So that may take care of any delinquent taxes you have.
And PAYS is pay as you stay.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Also, Jim or Tony, can you confirm that if the city makes that adjustment for the principal residence exemption, that we would then, could we make the adjustment for the taxpayer to be in the ERSPA plan, the 6% plan instead of the 18%?
Yeah, once they get that PRE approved by the city, we can then put them in the ERSPA until they get approved for the PAYS program. Once they're approved for the PAYS program, if they get approved for the the HOPE and the PAYS program, then they will get a letter from us stating that their taxes have been reduced and actually giving them the information of who to contact from the Gilbert Foundation to possibly pay off their taxes in full.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So HP TAP and PAYS is two different.
Yes, and the HP TAP is now going to be called HOPE, HOPE.
Oh, okay. Because I was denied through there at first because of my 2000 tax information. I couldn't find it. My house had caught on fire the same day that I got my deed. So that information that I had gave the Housing Coalition, I did not have anymore once I actually took my mom the next time for her house, showing her that this is what you can do for your house. You don't have to necessarily sit here and fraud about it. So I thought I would just do it myself, and they denied me because of that. So I wouldn't know where to get my 2018 taxes from. Can I use my 19 or my 20 for Hope, as you call it now?
You can
Or
use
what?
yes, ma'am. You can use the 19 or 20. If you apply before the end of the year, even if you apply for this year, even if you apply for 2021, we can still retroactively add you the 20 to, I'm sorry, if you apply for 19 or for 20, we'll automatically qualify you for 21. So if you've got your information for a 19 or 20, just apply for the current, apply, and we will make the information retroactive, and we'll do everything we can to get you into one of these programs.
And my question to you is, when you were denied, was that for the PRE or for the HP tab?
Well, the PRE was never sent in by the Housing Coalition. So
that's why she was denied for
That's why you were denied, right?
That whole time, but I thought that they were going to do it for me. They gave me the copies and told me that necessarily that's what they were going to send in. However, now I know that that's what it is because I physically went into the KMAC building. Someone spoke with me and told me that. However, do I still, if that program works for me, am I still on the payment plan, or do I come off of it at some point?
You are currently on a payment plan. You will stay on that payment plan. But once you get that PRE done, then come back into our office and have them transfer that to an ERSPA plan, which will reduce your interest and will hold the property from foreclosure until you can reapply for the HOPE program.
Ms. Malone, when can you come in the office?
Yeah, ma'am, what year were you denied for?
I only did it in 18 for 2018. Now it was 2020 when I did it.
Okay, so you were denied last year?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Do you have the PRE completed? I mean, you have it signed and done? Everything's completed?
Yes.
Email it to me, and we'll take a look at your 2020 application.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put my email address out here. Email it to me directly, and I will pull the file for your 2020 application, and we'll see what we can do.
And then once she's done with that, then you'll assist her, or Mr. Donwell will, with the HOPE program?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's great.
Someone was asking me when can I come in the office. I think it was Mr. Donwell.
Can you either myself or Mr. Downwell here Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Mr. Downwell's here almost every day. I'm here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. And there's almost always somebody in this office you can speak to if you need to.
And you're located, but you put it in the chat.
Coleman Young Municipal Center, 8th floor.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So every day except Friday.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A lot of good information, a lot of great resources. And I just want to mention our community partners information is also on our website. So you'll be able to go to our website, treasurer.waynecounty.com, and be able to get their information. We have quite a few questions. One other thing that I would just like to ask to our resource folks that are on the phone, can you just kind of go through the chat? If you see any questions that might apply to you that have not been answered, respond to them so that those guests won't leave without getting their questions answered. Thank you so much. Our next person is Miller.
If I can, Beverly Ann, real
Yes.
quickly. Yeah, Ms. Malone, just go ahead and email it to Mr. Horn, because I think we're both going down the same path, right? So just go ahead and email it. It'll be a quicker path. You won't have to pay to park, none of that kind of stuff, and let us figure out how to get this resolved for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So Mr. Miller, Miller Rick, would you please unmute yourself?
Yes, how you doing today?
And thank you for being patient.
You very welcome. Okay, I went down to Wayne Metro. Yeah, and I took my 3 months pay stubs and took my utility bills to get some help on my back taxes. But they said they wasn't doing it until December or something. And I never heard nothing else back from them, but they be sending me text messages to Zoom in, but I don't never get a Zoom link.
Mr. Rick, what city do you live in?
Detroit.
Okay, so one thing happened. In the early summer, I should say, late spring, we ran out of funds. Since then, for CARES, I guess that was earlier. Sorry. A lot of things have happened. We ran out of funding at one point, and then for the city of Detroit, we received the donation from the Gilbert Family Foundation. Please give the agency a call, or you can at 313-388-9799. Again, that's 313
388.
388
Okay.
9799. And someone can reach out to you then and help you with your property taxes and figure out what was going on.
Okay, so when should I call that number?
Our call center opens up at 8:30, I believe, and we close it at 4.
So they have my name and information already down there?
If you're receiving texts, they should. But
Yeah.
also, I don't know if you're comfortable with email. I have those things in the chat. I am gonna log off soon, so I'll put everything in the chat one more time. But there's a couple emails in there where you could also reach out and inquire if that's something you're comfortable with.
Okay, so again, I could dial this 388-9799 number.
Yes, sir, and just let them know that you're looking for property tax help.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
I want to thank our partners for staying on the call. We have a lot of callers, a lot of questions. If they have to leave, their contact information is in the chat. And if your question hasn't been answered this evening, maybe you want to put it in the chat so we can get the question and contact you tomorrow. So.
Thank you.
Beverly, we can take about 3 more questions this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Sabree. All right. Stephanie McCultney. Stephanie, she's been waiting.
Yes, I'm here. I just have a quick question and hope. I wanted to know because I'm trying to sell my home and I have a renter that's in the house and they won't leave and they're not paying any rent. But I wanted to know how long is it taking for evictions right now?
I don't have that information at all, but maybe one of the landlords may be on the call still and could help us with that. Anybody know?
But you can put your name in the chat, your information in the chat, and we'll get you the information.
Yeah, we can find out.
We can get the information and send it to you. Just put it in the chat, please.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you so much.
Okay. So the next 2 speakers will be Marquita White and Alfred's iPhone. And Marquita, would you unmute yourself, please?
No. You know what? Oh, go ahead, Beverly.
Yes.
We had I think we went to Mark, and we couldn't reach him, but we could get him before we close out too.
Is Mark? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Could I take that spot if possible?
Marquita?
Yes, can you hear
Thank
me?
you. Go ahead.
I have a question. If I get on the payment plan for the 5 years, the 6% and with a down payment, can I go online and do that? Do I have to go in the office and do it?
You can do that online now, and we
can do it.
Sign it electronically and make your payment, and you can do everything online. Yep.
Okay, I also have another question. It was the young lady that said that she got a house from her parents. Well, I bought the house after my kid's father passed away, and I've been paying on the house since 2006, and everything is still in his name, but all the paperwork comes in my name. I went to probate because he had money in his estate for his children, but I had to go to Macomb County to do it. But the house in Detroit, I never went to probate court for it. I became the head of his estate and a conservative, and I purchased the house, but they never switched anything over as far as the property taxes into my name.
Okay. Mr. Horn can help you with that.
Ma'am, I'm gonna put my email address out here again. If you email me directly, I can get some paperwork in the mail to you. And if you put your phone number in that email, I can give you a call and we can talk about what we can do to assist you here.
Yeah, so the programs that we've mentioned, and I've seen a couple of questions about seniors exactly in the chat. So they are also available to seniors. If our seniors need help filling out these applications, they can call Wayne Metro.
All right, thank you so much for that question. And thank you, Cecilia. Thank you for your time and working with us tonight. Mark, will you unmute yourself, please, if you still are on the call?
Good evening.
Good evening, Mark.
I am a Grosse Pointe Park resident, and I have fallen behind on my taxes. And the interest that has built up is almost the same amount as the tax bill was. I heard you say something earlier about commercial real estate. They don't forgive any of the interest. Do they do on residential?
Well, Mark, if you're in a residential property owner, you can get into a payment agreement that will reduce if it's the home that you live in and own, you can reduce the interest to 6% instead of the regular 18%.
Yeah, because it's literally almost doubled a couple of my tax bills.
Yeah.
The interest just piling up.
But if it's the house, if it's your residence, your homestead, you can reduce the interest to 6% by getting into a payment agreement in our office. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, we'll go to Danielle, and that's our last call for the evening, and then Mr. Sabree will close us out. Danielle?
This question is for Mr. Horn at the assessor's office. I was told by our city council person that our community actually pays for snow removal for the whole community. We put into a pot, and wanted to know was that if we would be able to receive like some type of property tax credit or like a refund for that?
I'm afraid not, ma'am. There's 3 special assessment districts in the city of Detroit where the voters in that community agreed to pay extra for snow removal, security, and mosquito abatement. Unfortunately, they don't get a credit on their city taxes for doing that. That's something that the community voted to do.
Oh, okay. So you guys but the city is supposed to remove the snow per our millage, right?
Yes, ma'am. They still receive city services. So what they're paying for is over and above the city services. In some cases, they pay to have somebody remove the snow from the sidewalk. They come out if there's even an inch of snow. They have security patrols that patrol the neighborhoods. They are in one instance, they actually spray for mosquitoes several times a year. So these are services over and above what the city provides.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Hollis, and thank you, Mr. Horn. And before you close out, Mr. Sabree, I just wanted to tell everyone, thank you so much for your patience, especially those of you that did not get your questions answered tonight. As Mr. Sabree said, please put it in the chat. We'll be on for a few more minutes for you to be able to do that. And our next Ask the Treasurer will be November 17th at 6:00 p.m. And we do have the information that you can reach out to our treasurer's office if you have any other questions that didn't get answered tonight.
As Beverly mentioned, we're going to leave the call open for a while after we close out so that anyone that wants to put their question in the chat, we can get it and answer your question tomorrow. Give us 2 days. It may take us a couple of days. We close out our auction tomorrow, so it may take us till Friday to get back to you. So I want to say that we also have a Veterans Resource Fair coming up the day after our monthly Ask the Treasurer event. That's November 18th from 10 to 2. And that information is on our website. We have about 20 employers and about 30 different vendors that service veterans. It's to highlight what veterans need and what they are, the services that they they utilize. We try to encourage them to come to our office and get into payment agreements if they need help. We have Wayne County Veterans Affairs Office that we work with that also provides actual money to veterans that need help, home repairs, food, with back taxes and so forth. So I wanted to mention that. That's November 18th from 10 to 2. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the call. Thank you very much for your patience, and want to say have a good evening. Be safe.